We live. Hey fam. Hey, how are y'all doing? Welcome back to TOMMYBITES Homestead. How is y'all Friday going today? Let me know in the comments. What are you going to be doing this weekend as well? Are you going to be stocking up? Are you going to be relaxing? Are you going to be cleaning your home? Listen, I'm going to be doing all of the above because next weekend, two of my grandkids want to come up here, but I don't know if they're coming or not. So, let's get into the story, you guys. I told y'all last week that this Walmart was going to be shutting down. Well, guess what? They already got the signs up and they are at a 50% off and things are flying off the shelves. But what I'm seeing is not a lot of people are going in the camping section first to get, supplies like that, but they're going and they're cleaning out, the food, of course. It's gone. It's gone. So let's go over here. So this is the story that I told y'all about last week. I'm just going to touch you up in case you didn't see it. The Walmart in Coons Rapids, Minnesota is closing for good on August 29th. They did that in a Facebook post. 176 people plus will be permanently laid off as a result of the closure. Layoffs will take effect on October 31st, and those impacted will be paid for 90 days after the store shuts down. During those 90 days, employees at the store on Riverdale Drive Northwest will be able to apply for open positions at other Walmart, Sam's, and other company facilities, meaning your job does not transfer. You have to apply all over again, just like anybody else off the street. And if there's no available position, you are out of a job. But at least you're getting paid for those 90 days until then. So employees being laid off are not represented by a union. Several shoppers say they're surprised. I told y'all about all of that. Even this guy here, I'm gonna fast forward.
Coon Rapids will shut its doors later this month. He's not surprised.
I really can't figure it out. Can't wrap my head around it. It really doesn't make much sense to me.
Walmart store number 1562's upcoming closure shocks Barlia Wright, who lives right around the corner.
They're in prime real estate. Like, this is the great area to be in. They do have a lot of competition, but they have a name that is, you know what I mean? Like, pretty prominent.
On Tuesday, the store announced it'll close, laying off 176 employees. Daniel Hernandez, who owns a supermarket.
Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole thing because you can go look at that video if you want to see that. But over here on TikTok, make sure you can see it. Hey, y'all, welcome in. All 47 of you. Happy Friday to you. Over on TikTok, it's a whole nother story. Let's see, not a whole nother story, but it shows you what's going on inside of a Walmart that's shutting down. So let's check it out.
Leftover 50% off. It is still a lot of clothes left. I would say this is the jackpot right here. There's still a lot of bras and stuff, a lot of clothing everywhere, so still a lot of that. Still a lot of shoes over there. I was hoping to
Hey
find
everybody,
some, home goods area, but everything's kind of empty over here. I was hoping to find some baked goods, but all the baked goods are gone. I guess I could use a blender. Screw it, I'll get one. So electronics look pretty bare.
now out of all the videos I've seen, this guy right here is the only one that I've seen actually take advantage of going into the camping section. That is the best time because that stuff is not cheap over there. You know, the pre-made meals, the dehydrated meals, all of that, the purification tablets that you will need if the water goes down. You're going to need all of that stuff. First aid kits. They even have it for insect bites, snake bites, etc. All that stuff over there, flashlights, hatchets, you name it, anything you would need to survive off grid, you can find it over in that camping section. But people don't take advantage of it. Let a Walmart near me close up and I have some funds on me. I am going, and that is the first place that I'm going. I can get my food later because it's going to be gone anyway by the time I get there. So let's see.
pillows, bedding are very low. That's stuff I needed to. A lot of toys left though. Sporting goods area, there's a lot of fishing stuff. All the bikes are gone. There are some camping stuff available, which I'm gonna grab. Candles are pretty much running low. Let's see what else. Of course, all the bathroom stuff is wiped out. Looks like all the good dog brands are gone. All the dog treats are basically gone too. Bummer. There are some dog toys, but not a lot. Bunch of leashes though. I'm guessing this is kind of what a zombie apocalypse is like. People must love their cats because the cats' food is all gone. Looks like there's still stuff for cosmetics. Most of the dry food is all gone. All of the frozen food, all gone. Wiped clean. I'm guessing this is gonna be like a 20-minute wait. I always wanted to say this, but run, don't walk. By the time I post this video, they're probably gonna get pretty low in there, so get here as soon as possible. The Walmart in Coon Rapids is...
Okay, let me pause right there so I can see what y'all saying in the comments and see who's in here. Yeah, you need to listen. For the person who was wondering about the tariffs have already hit. Okay, that date, August 8th, that everybody was waiting for, that's already done. The tariffs are already hitting. The U.S. is making their money off of these other countries. But what is happening is the price of everything is going up. I showed you yesterday the price of ground beef. Now this, of course, prices vary where you live, but in one Walmart I went in, it was $42 for a 10-pound ground beef. Went to a different Walmart and it was still at $39. So it depends on where you are, but that's still a lot of money when you think about it. But if you want it and need it, go ahead and get it because you can lock in that price. That's one reason to stock up on things. And you can can the ground beef. If you have a freeze dryer, you can freeze dry it. I canned some ground beef. It's okay as long as you put some more flavoring on it, because it does take away from it, I think, personally. So that's why I have never canned anymore. I see, oh, hey, Riverside Home Life, Homestead Life, how are you doing? Long time no see. Hey, Sabrina. Sherry's in here. Judy, Delois, Marjorie, Pre-Retirement Days, Diana D, Girl Dad, Corrine, Nopella says, I would say if you're going in there to shop, 50% sale, get your beef. You better be there before they open because it's all gonna be gone. That's in Minnesota, Coons Rapids, House of Lamar. But there are supposed to be more Walmarts closing. Whenever I find out exactly which ones, I'll let you know. But that is the time, you know, not say that is the time, but that's one of the best times to go ahead and stock up, start prepping and getting. Y'all see what's happening out here in the streets in DC, and that other states are going to be going through the same situation with boots on the ground. So it's a lot of civil unrest going on right now in DC. And I imagine it's just going to spread. So no one wants to be out there. Like I saw a video with a woman. She was like literally telling people, don't turn there. Keep going. Don't turn there, because they were down a road and it was just randomly stopping people. But I thought this was about getting homeless. Oh, I did see them moving homeless from off the street and just tearing apart everything that they had wherever they had it at. And also, I mean, just, it's a lot going on. It's a lot of confusion going on. It's a lot of angry people out there. So I don't want to be in the mix. I don't. So I got to stock back up. I mean, I'm still good. If something were to happen, we good here. We got backup power that'll get us through. We have solar. I do need to get some more water though, but I have my 25-gallon huge containers that I showed y'all one time before. I had moved them into the garden, and the other day I just poured all of that water out, and I said I was going to clean it out, bring it and put it in the garage, and put it next to the system that my husband already has together that he had for the fish tank. But yeah, we gonna have some water, so make sure you have some water, because I can't remember where it was, but these people were told that they could not even flush the toilet. They were having water issues that bad. And what if you have a water boil advisory? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot to think about. Life straws aren't cheap, but I had got mine when I got them. I think it was 50% off. So that worked out, because we got a bunch of them. We tried to get one for everybody that was in the house, which was 4 people at the time. So you gotta do what you gotta do. £20 in a stove, add garlic, chili powder. Okay, Google account. Seasoned canned beef is great. Yeah, you can get your canned meat. You know, they're not cheap, but you can get them. You can get them from one of these big companies, or you can go out into the store and buy them single. Account messages on my phone. I do believe you guys are right, and it's not getting better. It will only become more expensive. Yeah, it's gonna be more expensive, but like the people who, you know, the ranchers, they said they saw it coming. They knew it was coming. But I really do feel like a lot of people are, I say people, companies are taking advantage of the situation, and they're putting extra things and saying that it's all tariffs. It's not all tariffs, because before tariffs even hit, the prices were already going up. So what was the reason then? So they're finding reasons just not to say, well, it's for, you know, our CEOs so they can have things in their pocket, or our shareholders. Yeah, I did a Google count. I did. I can't mine. I haven't canned anything in a while. It's cheap. Can it yourself compared to, yeah. Just like those number 10 cans, you can can that stuff. Like if you want to not just have one, say you have a house full of people, but you don't cook a bunch, instead of you can get the number 10 can, package that into your jars, water bath can it, long as it's not meat. As long
in a lawsuit just filed in the last hour, the administration is, quote, infringing on the district's right to self-governance and putting the safety of D.C. residents and visitors at risk. It comes after Attorney General Pam Bondi announced last night she was appointing the head of the Drug Enforcement Agency as the city's emergency police commissioner, stripping authority from the city's police chief. Lisa, let's get to this new lawsuit just filed. What's the D.C. Attorney General's argument, and do you see this lawsuit going anywhere?
You know, the D.C. Attorney General has a point to some extent. Obviously, the president under the statute has the authority to request that the D.C. mayor provide services and turn over police services specifically to him for use for federal purposes. And that's really where the DC Attorney General has a couple of good arguments. One, the president hasn't articulated what the federal purpose here, separate and apart from general crime control, might be. But more importantly, the statute talks about the mayor providing services to the president. not the president taking full control of the DC Police Department. And one of the things that they're asking for, the reason I'm holding my phone like this is because I'm reading the lawsuit, is they want the order that Attorney General Bondi issued authorizing the DEA administrator to take over the police department to be vacated and enjoined. That may be the best argument that the DC Attorney General has, that it allows the provision of services, but certainly doesn't authorize the full takeover that has happened here, and certainly doesn't allow, for example, the Attorney General to say that sanctuary policies of the District of Columbia will not be obeyed per her command.
We are back.
The Trump administration further cementing its takeover of D.C. law enforcement last night by stripping decision-making authority from its police chief and handing it to the head of the DEA. Attorney General Pam Bondi naming Terry Cole as emergency police commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. That move coming just days after President Trump directed the federal government to take control of the local police and also deployed the National Guard. All, the administration says, in an effort to mitigate crime in the nation's capital. The Trump administration further cementing its takeover of D.C. law enforcement last night by stripping decision-making authority from its police chief and handing it to the head of the DEA.
We're about to go on a run here through DC and show you what it looks like now that the Trump administration has sent in the National Guard and federalized our police force. Didn't even get to start the run. I'm on my block. We've got police right here. This is Border Patrol, and then these are some unmarked vehicles, as well as more Border Patrol. Now following that group of cars, we're about 4 blocks in. All right, just got to Union Station. Here is what the scene looks like. Kind of a weird scene here, but we've got 3 of these military trucks sitting behind me. Now I'm headed in the direction of the Capitol. There's a bunch of whistles blowing, as well as a bunch of sirens coming up the street, it sounds like. I'm not sure what building this is, but it turns out it's megaphones and pots and pans, and they're trying to disturb whatever building this is. Just to be 100% clear, none of these videos are meant for like fear-mongering. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just simply want to show you what it looks like, and obviously draw your own conclusions. I'm not here to necessarily put out a narrative, but at the same time, if there is something that is blatantly obvious and a threat to people's safety and other DC residents, I'm going to call it out in the video, even if it's my opinion. I just circled back to head back to Martin Luther King Jr. Library now that it is shut down to see what happens. And in front of me, I have about 8 agents along with police. We got Border Patrol, Secret Service, Homeland Security Investigations, and one that just says federal agent. There's a group of Border Patrol and PD behind me. They just stopped 2 men for smoking weed, which to my knowledge is legal in DC. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. Just in the few blocks that I walked alongside those federal agents, the number of scared reactions that I saw from people of color that were walking just down the street minding their business was insane. Just to give you an example, a black mother and her son was walking down the street. The second they turned the corner and saw the agents walking towards them, she immediately grabbed her son's hand and told him, when you see these people out here walking around, you're going to hold my hand because I want them to know that you're mine and you're not out here causing trouble because we don't want any trouble with them. It was truly just so disheartening to see. I'm popping by the White House right now just to see if there's any protests going on. Not much going on, just seemed like tourists. At the George Washington University campus now, there was heavy presence here tonight. Not so much anymore. There's a couple individuals hanging out by some of the tents that are normally here, so I'm going to go see what's being said there. So this is right here in front of some of the tents here at Washington Circle by GW campus. Again, I don't necessarily want to show faces, but one person was picked up here by a shelter van that took him to a local shelter as opposed to being surrounded here in Washington Circle by a bunch of federal agents. It sounds like there's a lot of confusion between the different agencies and who's in charge of what. For example, at that location, DC police was putting up a bunch of notices on all the tents, letting people know that they do have to leave the area eventually. Some agencies showed up and honored that and basically moved on with their night. Sounds like some of the other agencies would show up and basically ignore the notice and start asking people, hey, do you have somewhere you can go right now? You got to go. It wasn't forceful, but I'm sure it's definitely causing some confusion amongst the unhoused people here. I was just in Wawa, and 2 DC police officers were in there talking to each other. I listened to them as they chatted amongst themselves when they realized that they got the official notification that they are allowed to ask immigration status of people that they detain. They looked at each other and immediately shook their heads, and then one of them said, that ain't my job. That just tells me that the police here even feel like it's an overreach. All right, now that's all I got for tonight, so good night. We're about to go on a run here through DC and show you what it looks like now that the Trump administration.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. This dude is out here getting fit and giving us a look at what's happening out here. If you think this can't happen for those people who are for it, and that's fine. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. If you think this won't happen to you in your area, think again. It can happen in your area. Matter of fact, they are already planning to do this in several other states as well. As far as that lawsuit, I don't think that's going to go anywhere, though. But hey, Christopher, Thank you. I'm reading your comments. I hear that, Farrah. That's what it is. Yep, Google. That's what it is. And it's back to, you know, it's sad to see as a person of color. It's sad to see and hear him say how the mom was holding her son's hand, because we already have concerns for our especially our boys, but you know, all of our children, but especially our boys. And to see that, man, I would not want to be there with any of my kids at this point, but that's what they want. They want, in my opinion, they want people of color out. They want the homeless out, no matter the color. And they want it for the wealthy. That's what it's about. But under the guise of crime, because crime is high. I'm not gonna say crime is not high. Crime is high, and that needs to be dealt with in a better way than DC had been dealing with it. I hate that it's come to this at this point, because, oh my goodness, once you get the government in, they don't want to leave. I think y'all heard me say that last week. Once they come in, they're not going to want to leave. This is supposed to be a 30-day thing, but I just saw a video yesterday where the government is saying, you know, it's going to take more than 30 days. We say it's going to take 30 days, but by the time the 30 days hit, we need an extension. Now they have to apply for the extension with Congress, but Trump said he ain't worrying about Congress, because, I mean, he controlled Congress and they're going to go along with it. So it's going to be longer than 30 days in DC. And they're already working out a way that, because he has the right to do this in DC, but they're already working out a way that they can do this in Chicago. Well, he said New York is going to be next. That's the one he's working on. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and I think one more. But yeah, wherever they see fit, they're going to have boots on the ground. And even if you ain't doing nothing, they still going to harass you. They're going to do stops and stuff like that, because they're looking for, you know, they're looking for migrants. They're looking for whoever they're looking for. Unconstitutional. Yeah, but that's out of the, if you, there was an article in the Washington Post that stated it was some things taken off of the website for the U.S. Constitution, but those people said that it was just a glitch and that it would be back up. But yeah, we'll see where this goes, you guys. I don't know how I got on this, but it's all intertwined, because I want you guys to be preparing and prepping, and I can't make you do it, but if I show you that as simple and easy as it is for the government to come in and take over your city, or, you know, whatever, where you are, you want to be prepared. You want to be ready. And you definitely don't want nobody telling you what you can have or not have in case of emergency. So that's another reason to stock up. We have our first supposedly hurricane. I haven't been able to check to see if it's an actual hurricane now, because it was a tropical storm, Aaron, but it was supposed to be, said it's supposed to be a hurricane by the end of today. And that they don't know exactly where it's going to go, because it kind of changed its track. But that being said, we need to be preparing for emergencies. If nothing else, if you don't believe in the civil unrest or, you know, people on the street protesting that it can affect you, that's fine. But we all know that natural disasters happen, whether they are man-made or not man-made, they do happen. And we are having crazy weather, like a regular thunderstorm can happen. And then you have situations like Texas, you have situations like Tennessee, no-name storms that's taking out people's homes, taking people out, flooding areas that didn't flood before. So just reasons to be prepared, you know, make that plan with your family, talk to them, find out what it is they also want to stock up in the home. So you're prepping what you eat and you're eating what you're prepping, and it should be no waste. You're rotating through your food. You can also do the same thing with your gasoline. You can get those gallon containers and stock up on your fuel. Get your stay bill to go in it so that, you know, your gas stays fresh, and then you're using it and you're replenishing it. That's all it is. You're using things and you're replenishing things. It's not about hoarding. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about being in panic, because people who panic are the ones who were paying attention and not paying attention and just didn't care to get a few extra things. Or maybe they couldn't afford it at the time, but could afford other things. We just going to have to figure out what we need to get, and just get it, and don't think about it, because too much thought into it with, well, I don't know if I should get that. Well, you eat it anyway, go ahead and get it. You drink it anyway, go ahead and get it. And especially with getting your water, and then how you're storing and stocking up your home does matter. Where you're storing things. You don't want to store your food in a hot garage. You just don't want to do that. You can store your water in there, but don't sit it on the floor. And because it could leach, the concrete could leach into it. Always place it on a pallet or put something in between the water and the floor. So am I leaving anything out? Yeah, stock up on your medications as well, your first aid, the same as you're doing in stocking up for your home and having emergency foods and water and stuff. Do the same for your vehicle, because you never know when you get stuck in traffic, or you may be out when that emergency happens. Or even if your car breaks down, you at least have something in your car, especially if it's the winter time and you're stuck in the cold. So just a lot of things to think about when it comes to prepping. It can seem overwhelming, but only if you make it that way. It's really not that complicated at all. You just getting the items that you already use in your home, even from the cleaning supplies. It's the stuff that you already use in your home, and then how you're going to store it and where you're going to store it. Because a lot of people don't have a lot of space, but you can store things in your linen closet. You can store things under your bed, under your kids' beds. I mean, you name it, you can find a place to store some stuff. I remember when I first started, I was like getting canned goods, but I was like getting extra canned goods, and I just had it in my kitchen where I used to have my plates. I moved my plates out and put the food in there. But yeah, so you make do the best you can until you can do better and have more space to do it. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go, and it was good seeing you guys in the chat today. Hey Angela, how are you? It's okay. If y'all have not hit that like button, please hit that like button. That is the only way to support the channel, to help it get out in YouTube land, is to hit that like, subscribe, and leave comments. When this video is done, you can even go back into the video and leave comments, because the more you interact with the video, the more YouTube realizes that more people need to see the video. and that would definitely help. Hey, CSE driver, how are you today? What is that face for? I can't make out your emoji. What is that face for? Hey, Farah, Candace, Corrine, how are you? Hey, Jean. Yeah, I agree with you, Jean. I'll put yours up there. When are people going to figure out that we are no longer under the Constitution, but secretly under martial law? It is called continuity of government. Listen, this is a soft, and I don't even want to say that. Somebody said it in a different video, and it made sense. This is pretty much a soft martial law, if there is such a thing, meaning we're going to start here with DC because this is the one place that we can do, because they're not an actual state, and I can put them under my control and do what I want. I was reading something, and it was, what did they say? Just pay attention to what I'm doing. You know, don't you can listen to the words and pay attention to some of the words too, because a lot of people miss the fact that they were talking about doing this to other states as well. Well, to states, because DC is not a state, but and then a day later they came out and said it full blown. Yeah, we already eyeing these states here. So we are in a martial law. If you don't know what that is, look it up, because you don't have any rights at all. And while they are out stopping people that seemingly are just driving down the road, maybe coming from church, work, school, grocery store, wherever, it's supposed to be getting crime off the street. It's just sad, because not all homeless people are on drugs. Not all homeless people have mental health issues. They have financial issues. They have job loss. They have evictions. They, you know, all the things that come along with a job loss. Nowhere to go, and then you end up on the street or sleeping in your car. That's not like a SUV camping like I was doing, but just this is your life. You don't have a brick home or a mobile home or anywhere to go. They're on the street. So if they don't go, they're going to have a home. It's going to be jail. If they don't go to the mental hospital, it's going to be jail, and you're going to get a fine. So that's where we are today in the United States of these Americas. And I will see y'all later, because I'm pretty sure I'll have another video out later. So turn your notifications on if you have not. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow, let's grow, let's grow. And y'all take care and stay safe. Prep today so you are prepared for tomorrow. And remember, if a Walmart near you go out of business, make it your business to be there early and get stocked up.